Hello Eastsides, how are you tonight?
I'm very good, thank you.
Now I don't want to make you sound old, but you've been in the scene for 25 years, which is quite insane. In your opinion, how did the whole drum and bass scene change during these years, and what are your thoughts about the direction where it's heading?
Well, I mean, it's changed in so many ways. The scene has changed in a lot of ways, the industry's changed in a lot of ways. And I've got to see things from like a global perspective rather than someone that's been like just staying in London or Budapest and just seeing the local scene. So that's a big question because there's so many things that have changed. Like, one thing I will say is that it's still alive and kicking, which is great. From a music perspective, the music's still great. From a sales perspective with music, everything's changed from, you know, when I first started making music, we used to make music in a totally different way with totally different equipment. Before the digital era, we were back in the analog days. So that's all changed, and you know, we used to just used to do vinyl back in those days, and now everything's digital, and if you're lucky you do a vinyl release. So there's so many things that have changed. The production's got much better in the music, and yeah, that's like a real colossal question. Like, it covers so many angles, but if you want me to just wrap it up like that, that's my answer.
What are some of your proudest moments in your musical career?
Proudest moments, okay. I think having a release on Metalheads was a big deal for me back in the day when we had the first Cyclone release on Metalheads. You know, my first record coming out was a huge achievement for me personally. I'd always wanted to release a record. I had my first record out. You know, I remember getting paid to DJ for the first time, getting flown somewhere, my first US tour. Yeah, there's a lot of good moments, but things like that are probably the bigger moves. Are probably the things that I remember most. You know, DJ wise, I've had some amazing gigs in Budapest, like playing for Bladerunnaz guys. You know, when we did the Get Festival with Snoop Dogg, me and Fats came over. A38. I remember one time I played with DK and Bad Company at the Citadel. That was a long time ago. You know, always great gigs in Budapest too. Sun and Bass every year. It's always a good time, a highlight. And then probably playing in Brazil for DJ Marquis. That was like it's my biggest show I've ever played. I think it was 40,000 people. Yeah. A lot of people.
You have a forthcoming album with the title Quartz. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yes. Well, it's quite confusing really, because the album is to celebrate 25 years in the business. I called it Quart because it's short for a quarter. 25 years is a quarter of a century. So that's where the idea Quart came from. People get confused because each EP, there's 5 EPs, it's 25 years, so I wanted to do 25 tracks. And then each release, instead of doing it as one big LP, I was going to do it as 5 separate releases. And each release has 5 tracks. So some people get confused there too, because they think because it's Quart, it should be 4 to a quart. But there was no way that I could do that with 25 tracks. It doesn't go into 4. So yeah, the album's celebrating 25 years, and it's released as 5 EPs, 5 track EPs, sectors, which the first one came out in August and the last one will come out in December. And then that will tie up the collaboration. When the 5th sector's released, everything will come together as one LP. So it's a different way of marketing.
Can we expect something similar when you reach 50 years in the scene?
If I'm still around, yeah, for sure, I'd love to do it. And it's, you know, you never know. I have an uncle he's in his mid-60s. I can't remember his exact age. His name's Joffrey, and he plays reggae and DJs reggae, and he makes reggae. and he's forever, nearly every weekend he's out doing festivals. You know, he comes over to Europe a hell of a lot, and you know, I look at that as inspiration because he's 20 years older than me, and he's not done yet. You know, so who knows? I mean, if drum and bass is still around, look, at the end of the day, it's something that I know well, and it's something that I can do well. So, you know, I would rather be doing this and making a living from it than being sat in an office doing a job that I don't enjoy, working for a boss that sucks, you know.
Is there anything else forthcoming on Eastside Records besides your album?
I don't have any plans at the moment. I mean, definitely next year there'll be more music that's released. I think I'm going to slow down on the albums for a while. I mean, I've done like, I think 6 or 7 solo albums now. So I've proven my point. I might just start releasing some singles and some EPs again. A lot of people probably don't think that although I'm still very active, a lot of people probably aren't so aware because I don't have a record coming out every month, because I just do albums now every year, and all I release on Eastside is my own material now, or collaborations with other people. So yeah, I mean, for sure there'll be things coming out next year, but I'm not sure what yet.
Who are some of your favorite producers or vocalists you like to work with?
Producers, I mean, there's quite a few producers really. I mean, I like Caliber, Break, Marcus Intellect, Spirit, Serum and Bladerunner. Quite a big list of producers that I rate. Ivy Lab, Goldie. Vocalists, I mean, obviously I work with Fats, I work with Vanessa Freeman, Robert Manos. I'd like to do something with Conrad, DRS, Ria is great, MC Tali from New Zealand, and yeah, I'd actually like to work with a lot of other vocalists that aren't even people that work in drum and bass. I'm not sure who. You put me on the spot with that question, but yeah, you know, a lot. I quite enjoy working with people that aren't from a drum and bass background, because they bring something different to the table as well. So, you know, a lot of hip hop guys I'd really like to work with as well. I just did the first track on my album with Track from New York, and that was really good. And I'm from a old school hip hop background, so that's why I got Tribe Called Quest t-shirt on. And yeah, I really like a lot of the hip hop guys as well. So.
You've been in Hungary a couple of times now. Do you enjoy playing here?
I do. I enjoy it very much. It's always good. I don't know. Last time I came here, I was absolutely fucked. I couldn't manage. I felt really bad because I could only play for like 40 minutes when I came here. I had 3 shows in 3 days, and I had a cold. And Budapest was the last show. And I was at Stansted and I took off, and when I was in the air, my ear blocked with the pressure, and as I was coming down, the pressure wasn't releasing, it was just building up, and I got off the plane, I could hardly walk, like I was super dizzy, like real bad. So I owed you guys a good set tonight. Yeah, but no, I mean, I've got so much love for the Bladerunnaz guys. There's a few key people that always show me love, and Bladerunnaz is definitely one of them. You know, it's like they'll bring me back time and time again. I hope so, anyway. Yeah. Any final thoughts? Yeah, I mean, great job with the event tonight. This new venue is amazing, great lineup. Yeah, I mean the crowd. Like I don't think I've never really had a bad crowd in Budapest. It's always been a good turnout. It may be. I think I remember the first time I ever played here was in a coal mine. Yeah, and it got raided by the cops, right? Yeah, And that was a long time ago. I think that was probably the worst time that I'd ever been here. But other than that, every other event has been good, like Siget and 838 and the other club that you guys used to run. I forgot the name of it. Yeah. But yeah, always good, always good. And thank you Budapest for having me again. Cheers.